Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Moosh, and today we are going to be looking over some musicians that didn't like Led Zeppelin, or rock stars, whatever you want to call them. So let's get right into it. So first we have Jimi Hendrix, why he didn't like Led Zeppelin. In an interview held back in 2006, Carmen Appice, the drummer of a rock band Vanilla Fudge, discussed the legacy of Led Zeppelin. Recalling a meeting with Jimi Hendrix in the 60s, Appice said, "Jimi Hendrix personally told me that he didn't like Led Zeppelin because they were like excess baggage and that they stole from everybody. Like You Shook Me was Jeff Beck's record. Dazed and Confused has a bit of Vanilla Fudge on it, and it has parts of Beck's Bolero in it. I think I was told by a member of the band that Good Times, Bad Times, the riff came from Tim Bogart's bass line." Robert Plant once remembered how Hendrix had even teased John Bonham about his double pedal technique. Hendrix came up to Bonzo and he said, "You know what? You got a foot like a rabbit. We used to take the mickey out of people who used double bass drums." Damn, that's some, a little drama between them. I mean, Led Zeppelin did take music, a bit of influence from other musicians, but honestly, I think music is like, how like plants cross-pollinate? Like, how are you supposed to make unique sound sometimes, It's just, it kind of gets ridiculous. And I feel like they're all like in the same era. They should have been like, kind of supporting each other, but I get why people would get upset. Anyways, Hendrix saw just a glimpse of early Led Zeppelin and was critical of the controversial use of blues songs in their music. Led Zeppelin caused a fuss by using parts of the songs by blues musicians without giving them credit or paying them. Sorry. Some people think that this was unfair because it seemed like they were stealing from the original artists, who were often African American. Led Zeppelin's versions made them famous, but it sparked debate about whether they were respecting the origins of the music or just taking advantage of it. It is a complicated issue that shows how music can bring up questions about fairness and respect from different cultures. Totally. That's kind of what I was trying to say. So did Jimi Hendrix change his mind? Unfortunately, he passed away, and Jimi Hendrix never got the chance to hear their newer stuff, or they never performed together. And much to the disappointment of Jimmy Page, who later said, "I never saw him play either. I'm really, really upset with myself for never seeing him. I really wanted to hear him." That's sad. Isn't it sad? And I'll give credit to the magazine I got a lot of this info from. Credit to Sam W. Kemp at Far Out Magazine. Yeah, it is super sad not being able to see Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I never did either. But I can imagine how he felt, them even knowing each other, Okay, so I have Peter Townshend. My brain always reads his last name very incorrectly, so excuse me if I say his name wrong at all. I do think he's a bit of a pompous ass sometimes. That's just my opinion. And The Who are great, but they were never really my favorite band ever. I'm sorry to Who fans. You know who you are. We got beef, don't we? That's okay. All right. The Who's guitarist and principal songwriter, Pete Townshend, has never been shy about making his opinions known, thinking that the Beatles were lousy, and constantly complained about bandmate Roger Daltrey and other Who bandmates. I'm not going to refer to him as Townshend just for the purpose of me. I'm just going to call him Peter. Peter's opinions on music became famous for how harsh and brutal they could be. Yet somehow his opinion of Led Zeppelin captures Peter at his most brutal points ever. He's just not nice. He needs to open his heart a little, and maybe he's mean to himself, and that's why he's so mean and judgmental of other people. In 1995, he said, "I don't like a single thing that they have done. I hate the fact that I'm even slightly compared to them." He also said, "I just never ever liked them. real problem to me because as people, I think they are really, really great guys. Just never liked the band. And I don't know if I have a problem because they became a much bigger band than The Who in so many ways. And I just never liked them, quote unquote. It seems that overall Pete has no ill feelings towards the individual members of Led Zeppelin as people, but the music they created is something which he despises greatly, largely because it makes it feel so familiar to him. And he's jealous that they became more successful. So, Pete is hypercritical of lots of music from the 1970s and primarily critical of Led Zeppelin due to his position that the legacy, glory, and unique style of The Who were diminished by Led Zeppelin's success and their musical similarities he considers to be plagiarism. Has he changed his mind?
How about no?
No, he seems like a true balloon-headed idiot, and he recently dissed Zeppelin in a Toronto Sun article in December of 2021. We sort of invented heavy metal with our first live album, Live at Leeds, in 1970. We were copied by so many bands, particularly Led Zeppelin. You know, heavy drums, heavy bass, heavy lead guitar. Also, for fun fact, for some reason, he really likes John Paul Jones. He's a beautiful looking man and a beautiful musician. He's a fantastic experimenter in modern electronic music and other things, and he's sort of been sitting there. Credit to Joe Taysom at Far Out Magazine for this information I got. Maybe he likes John Paul Jones so much because he's sort of like on the backside of back burner of Led Zeppelin, and that, you know, he's just jealous how famous like Jimmy Page and Robert Plant and John Bonham were. Whatever. All right, now we got Eric Clapton. I did / Cream. It's just a bit of both. So, as Cream disbanded in the summer of 1968, Led Zeppelin was just beginning to take shape. However, while both groups showcased remarkably skilled rhythm sections, complemented by iconic leads and perceived similarities, they quickly became dismissed by Cream. Clapton wrote or said, quote unquote, "I've heard their records and I saw them play in Milwaukee. We were on the same bill. They were very loud. I thought it was unnecessarily loud. I liked some of it. I really did like some of it. But a lot of it was just too much. They overemphasized whatever point they were trying to make, I thought." Clapton explained to Nigel Williamson in 2004, quote unquote, "Led Zeppelin took up our legacy, but then they took it somewhere else that I didn't really have a great deal of admiration for." And before their passing in 2014 and 2019, Cream members Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker frequently criticized the band. "Fuck off, Zeppelin, you're crap," Bruce claimed. "You've always been crap and you'll never be anything else. The worst thing is that people believe that crap that they're sold. Cream is 10 times the band that Led Zeppelin is. You're gonna compare Eric Clapton to fucking Jimmy Page?" I like Jimmy Page better than Eric Clapton. That's just me. And some other people. Drummer Ginger Baker said in 2012, "The general public are so fucking dumb that anyone could think that Bonham was anywhere near the kind of drummer that I am is just extraordinary." Wow. These guys and their egos. All right, so the members of Cream seem agitated that the legacy of Cream and Zeppelin are forever intertwined and compared as blues and jazz influenced rock bands of a similar time in music history, and Clapton in particular considered Zeppelin to be a mediocre continuation of Cream's legacy, but one that could never ever fill the void left by Cream. So, did they change their minds? Baker and Bruce both died, remaining equally critical of Led Zeppelin, and Clapton's criticism never seemed overly negative, but him and Page had an abrupt end to their close friendship in the 1960s over jam session recordings and never rekindling their friendship, and just once playing on the same bill as Arms charity concert in 1983. Credit to Kelly Scanlon at Far Out Magazine, Eric Schell at Showbiz Cheat Sheet, and the Led Zeppelin official forum. Okay, last rock star, you guys. Keith Richards. Led Zeppelin and the Stones are two of the most important acts in history of British music. Two bands who you would assume there is great respect between, or at least a small amount of admiration. However, it seems it is only Jimmy Page who has earned an ounce of respect from guitarist Richards, and the rest of the band he found intolerable. To me, Led Zeppelin is Jimmy Page if you want to cut the story short. He also said, the guy's voice started to get on my nerves. I don't know why. Maybe he's a little too acrobatic. This was the first time that Richards uttered words of disdain towards Led Zeppelin, all the way back in 1969 in an interview conducted with Rolling Stone. Quote unquote, he said, "As a band I felt aptly named, it never took off for me musically." He once said, at the time, Jimmy Page is one of the best guitar players I've ever known. Bonham was a hell of a powerhouse drummer, although I think he's kind of heavy-handed. Richards certainly is not a fan of Led Zeppelin. His attacks were always about the music, and never a personal assault against any of the members. If there's one thing that Keith has always been, then that's honest in his opinion and saying exactly what's on his mind. Keith Richards seemed unimpressed with Led Zeppelin as a whole, and in particular Robert Plant, but truly admires Jimmy Page's abilities on guitar. Did Keith Richards change his mind? Richards dismissed Led Zeppelin as hollow even as recently as 2015. I love Jimmy Page, but as a band, no. With John Bonham thundering down the highway in an uncontrolled 18-wheeler, Richard remains friendly and mutually respectful with Jimmy Page, and whom he has collaborated with on a long-lost 1974 track and played alongside for the 17th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame celebration of 1992. And that's the song Scarlet. Credit to Joey Tayson again at Far Out Magazine for this information. Yeah, so that sums up my first video on musicians or rock stars that don't like or didn't like Led Zeppelin. Let me know what you guys think, and if you want to see more videos like this, even other musicians about other bands, let me know, and I will perhaps do that. Peace and love to you all. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. I love reading your guys' comments and replying to you. I will see you guys in my next video. All right, guys. Peace.